Hello everyone and welcome to this new devlog of the Astreterre project. I am OraNN and Astreterre is a 2D tactical role-playing game inspired by the Minecraft universe. Today I will present the creation of Activators. It will be markers in the game that allow interaction with the player. So far, the quests that are in the game are only dialogues with NPCs. Of course, this system is too reductive, and it is necessary to provide the possibility of completing quests in another way. For that, I imagine new objects to place in the world, which will be sort of markers, so that the player interacts differently with the environment. I started by creating the simplest activator, the one that detects the player's presence. In a quest, for example, we may need to check that the player is indeed visiting a given place to update his journal. This simple object will serve as the basis for other more complex activators. This is a scene that will be instantiated as many times as you want activator in a map. It is materialized by an icon visible in the Godot editor, but which will be not seen in-game. It will be completely invisible to the player. Then there is a detection zone which uses a collision shape and which lets you know when the player arrived in the zone. I use a number of export variables to configure each activator independently of each other. You can change the size and shape of the detection area. I can choose a condition for the activation. I check the status of the quest log. I can also choose the consequence of the detection. I update a specific log entry when the player approaches. The second type of activator is the death counter. It often happens that quests ask us to kill a specific monster or several monsters of a given type. The icon for this activator is a skeleton skull on a red background. In order for it to be able to count the death, it was necessary to modify the script of the creatures so that they emit a signal at the time of their death. A signal which contains their coordinates and their type. Eventually, the signal will also contain the ID of the author of the death. Depending on the parameters of the death counter, it retrieves the death signal of the creatures and checks if these deaths meet the criteria that we have chosen in the export variables. The counter is also linked to the quest log and can update it if all conditions are met. The spawner is the last type of activator that I implemented yet, and it is the most complex because it combines several features developed before while being linked to the game board, which means to the script that manages the fight. First, this spawner is tied to the player detection. It can then, like the others, be conditioned according to the quest log. Finally, it is set to produce one or more creatures of a given type. In the script, a loop will allow you to randomly choose a place to spawn in the chosen area. These coordinates will be transformed into cells thanks to the script resource of the grid.gd, which manages all the grid. Then, the game board script will tell him whether or not the cell is occupied by another creature or an obstacle on the ground. Finally, if the conditions are good, the spawner will execute a new creature spawn function by sending it the coordinates and type of creature. This function can be used on other occasions as a result of a dialogue, for example. That's why I implemented it in the game board script. To make it all work well, we had to reorganize the nodes of the main scene and plan for the future integration of multiple regions. Thus, many nodes will be permanent, such as the game board, for example, or the camera. All the nodes of a region, the map itself, the NPCs, the creatures, and the activators, are in a separate scene. All these scenes will be built on the same model, and I have already prepared 2 test scenes. All this work will be used very soon to manage doors and transitions from one region to another. Thanks for watching this devlog. Feel free to give your opinion in the comments. You can also subscribe to not miss the next devlogs. I stream every week on Twitch to work on Astreterre, and I upload it on YouTube. Thank you to all those who helped this project, and in particular to Mimish. See you soon. Bye bye.